me, it really starts from there. Finding ways to constantly love myself. My 49, I've been doing 49 days of dawn right now. I started when I was turning 40. And so I started as the 40 days of dawn. And what I did was I counted 40 days before my birthday. And I started just posting on Facebook, just a reflection, just something I learned throughout my 39 years and 325 days, right? Something I've learned. And the idea, the concept for me became about earning this birthday, right? Well, I work all year to earn the birthday, but I also wanted to make sure that I was taking some intentional time to, like you said, publicly journal and share my journey with my friends about things that I've learned and reflections that I have about my life journey. And that has become part of my healing, because I used to be very much, I'm not closed, but just private. You know, I used to be big on keeping certain things private. And I just realized that humans deserved more of me. Like I needed that. I needed this opportunity to be transparent. And then, you know how God works. I remember one year I said, y'all are killing my inbox, blowing it up. I had shared about going through the trauma of divorce. And I mean, when I tell you my inbox was on fire, not from people trying to take advantage of me, but my sisters saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe you shared that. And thank you so much, because I'm going through that.
Right.
Or, you know, people reaching out to me to share in my pain, and them saying that my sharing gave them the strength. What? Yeah. And I thought I was going to be embarrassed to tell my truth. And all it did was support and give these other sisters armor to stand in their own truth. It just empowered other people. And so for me, that's what that is. That's what that's about. This constant giving back is the thing that constantly heals and that constantly reinforces the love. It ensures me that the more that I love myself and the more that I'm pouring into others, the more that's going to continue to love. And I'm going to get that love right back. I'm going to get that love right back. And other people definitely have the healing to do. But I think it's, as long as I'm focused on how I'm navigating my space for me, and I'm pouring in this love, I'm pouring out this love. That's the thing that I think makes it's strong and powerful and always worthwhile. It's about putting that armor on, right? I was talking to a student just today, and she was talking about how she sometimes she's an empath and goes out and she's amongst a lot of people, and then she feels so exhausted and tired. And I said, well, what can you do? I said, you can't not go outside, right? I mean, you got to go, you're going outside for multiple things. I said, well, how can you fortify yourself before you go out and then cleanse when you come back?
Yes.
Right? So that's a part of it also. It's fortifying. How do I fortify myself? How do I put armor on to make sure that others are not penetrating this work, that others are not trying to chip away or build it? And I really find that I don't have, you'll see on the social medias, people talk about all the haters and the hate. I don't have a lot of people like that in my space. And I think it's because of what I give. Like, I don't know. I'm very intentional about the people in my space. I mean, I had some old friends from childhood and stuff who I'd be like, ooh, they posting about what? And I would either block them or unfriend them. Right? I'm very intentional about my village.
Right.
About who I allow to penetrate my energy. And so because of that, it's beneficial, right? It's I don't really have as much of the craziness around me. And craziness exists, and I pray for them, and I help to give them some direction. You know, you might maybe you should. Have you ever gone to counseling? And I let people know I speak very openly about counseling. I've gone to counseling. I had someone inbox me once because I had talked about my therapist, and they said, "Wow, you just talk so openly about being in therapy." And I said, "Why not? Like, all Black people in this country, Black Americans especially, should be in therapy."
Yes,
that's just my opinion. I mean, post-traumatic slave disorder, I mean, it's real. We're dealing with the epitome of post-traumatic disorder, but it's post-traumatic stress disorder. But it's all of that, right? So it's the therapy that I do with my therapist, but it's this constant check-ins in these moments. And sometimes I'll tell everybody, I just need a minute. I'm gonna just go over here in this cave and be by myself and watch something silly on TV and laugh, or put on some good music. You know, I love an empowerment playlist. I got a playlist of everything. I got a play. I tell you, if there is anything that I would recommend for this process of healing and growing, is a playlist. Create a playlist for your different moods. Do not try to make one playlist that has everything, right? Get your playlist when you need inspiration, right? This is a playlist for when I'm feeling a little down and I need inspiration. Have a playlist for you when you just feeling grateful. I just feeling grateful. I want to praise God. Have that playlist. Have that playlist that's for that sucker MC dude that did you wrong. And all the songs that say, you know what? It's okay to be mad sometimes. And I got a whole playlist of mad Black woman songs that talk about.
I just want a list in your playlist.
I got a playlist called Goddess Diva Body in Action. Goddess Diva Body in Action. And it has yoga videos, meditation videos, meditation music, and peaceful music. So this is the playlist that I put on. Like I said, I have some workout videos if I want to work out, but also I want to meditate. Are you familiar with a beautiful chorus?
No.
Oh, and please look up A Beautiful Chorus. They do these, I don't know how many of them there are. It's a group of beautiful Black women. I don't even know what they look like, but they got to be, their voices are beautiful. And they sing chants. So like there's one that just says, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. They're saying that over and over again. And you wouldn't even think that would sound silly. Oh, they're just saying, let it go. But imagine sitting and meditating to that, or doing yoga, moving through a vinyasa, or just laying still and listening to that, child, you'd be in a puddle of tears, letting it all go. And so that, I think, is one of my secrets. Also, A Beautiful Chorus. And Dr. Sean Ricks put me onto them years ago. A Beautiful Chorus. And they have lots of them. They have one called I Release. They have one that calls I Am a Beautiful Spirit. They have a bunch of them. So some that are affirmations and some that are meditations, mantras, really powerful. So that's one of those ways I fortify when I'm getting ready for the day. I fortify and cleanse, right? To choose what I'm listening to. But the playlists are everything. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a list of my playlists.
I need a list of your playlist.
Like, I'm telling you, just chilling, just for every mood. Just what am I thinking about listening to? And it's a great way of just being and navigating space.
Yeah. I think that people forget the power of music. And it doesn't, for me, it doesn't have to be vocal. It's just, it can be all instrumental. One of my favorite songs, and I tease him to this day. My friend Al Strong, he's a musician, and he has a CD, and it's some of them have a few words here and there. Most of it's all instrumental. He has this one song called "Liquid." It's number 7 on his first CD. I think, it may not have been his first CD. It may be his first CD, called "Love Strong." It's blue. It was in my car forever until I discovered that it was also on Apple Music. But this song, "Liquid," if you ever just want to feel like, that's how I feel whenever I hear this song. And I told him that after that year, it was going to be a lot of babies born because they put number 7, "Liquid," on his CD. But it's just, music takes me to places, and it's going to bring up my next piece because I wanted to talk about this. But music takes me to places that save me and save others. Because if I can deal with it in the music, then sometimes I don't have to deal with it with you, or I can deal with it with you way more effectively. It inspires me to do things. Like, I have a playlist that says workout. Then I have a playlist that's chill out. I have a playlist that's called recent jams. That's usually recent jams that I can't always play in the car with my kids. Don't judge me, people. Don't do it. But it's music that is not always kid friendly. But it's also my way of connecting to a generation of which I didn't realize I was so far removed from. Mm-hmm. But musically, we can connect.
Right.
And then there's old school jams, and then there are dusty jams. Like, it's some things that have reached dusty, some things that are just old school. But all of these things do what I think you did for your student when you started talking to her and pouring into her. I think that this is something that because you use the word eat, we forget that when we pour, we are nurturing. And music pours into me. And if I listen to the wrong thing on the wrong day, it may pour over. It may not be good. So watching what I allow my spirit to ingest is very important. But all of that pouring is what I'm eating.
Right.
In that moment. And when you
consuming,
you're consuming. And what you did for that student is that you poured into her something for her to ingest that was good and could positively sway her life.
Right. And we were meeting for an advising session.
And I would love your advising.
But the first thing is, I had sent out the message to the link to schedule an advising session weeks ago. And she sends me an email and she says, "Dr. Tafari, I admit I wasn't feeling up for advising. And so I know it's late. Registration opened yesterday. You got some time this week, we can meet." I said, "Sure, honey." So I gave her an appointment. And so how dare I start that session saying, "Okay, this is what you need to take in the fall." How could I just ignore everything that she said? The fact that she said I wasn't feeling up for advising. Honey, what's going on? Talk to me. That's how we start our session. What's going on? So she's just and just let it out. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with this. And she said, "The semester is semestering."
Hello.
And I said, "Okay, let's talk about that." Now, I'm no counselor. My Ph.D. is in education. So I stay in my wheelhouse. But let's talk this through. I gotta at least tend to this child's social emotional being before I can get to the academic stuff. The academic stuff is going to be there. I could type up a list of classes you need and send it to you. But what this time and space is for us to build, right? For me to prove that I love her, right? That I love her the way that I love me. That's what that opportunity was about. And I had to. And so we talked about all kinds of stuff, whether or not it was depression or, and I said, these are some supplements. And I told her, sometimes I feel a little gray cloud and I have a little ashwagandha that helps that kind of helps to boost my mood a little bit, or a little St. John's wort. And she was like, "Well, I don't know if it's really like depression, but it's like energy." And I was like, gosh, are you familiar with sage? So we talked about sage and Palo Santo and all this stuff. And it's like, that's what we spent 30 minutes talking about. And then I said, oh yeah, okay, so for the fall, you ready? And then I asked her first, so you ready to talk about the fall? And she said yes.
Because she had to get over the spring.
She had to get over the spring.
She had to get over last
and I would be doing a grave disservice if I acted like she didn't say I wasn't feeling up to advising.
Right.
What kind of thing is that to say? I wasn't feeling up to advising. What's going on in your spirit that you're not up to advising? Right? I needed to know more about that. And I needed to know, and trust me, if it got deeper than that, we'd be walking, well, we were on Zoom, but I'd be referring her to the counseling center. But we seem to be able to just navigate, she just needed to talk, she just needed to talk it through with somebody and not really, she didn't really need, but I did ask her also, are you talking to anybody? Yeah. And she said she did have a therapist. Oh, so good. I didn't even have to go there with her, but I let her know that was okay. I'm very transparent with my students. My students know Dr. Tafari is not perfect. Dr. Tafari does not wake up like this. Dr. Tafari is a mess at 6:30. It's not till about 8 o'clock that she started looking like something worse.
But it is because I think also, one, your awareness and your mindfulness.
Yeah.
Because you live in the space where you have to be mindful to be who you are. Mm-hmm. You can then be aware of the happenings and the missteps and the concerns and the offness of others. Yeah. And because of that, then you can nurture them and nourish them effectively. I think as leaders in whatever space we're in, sometimes because we are not mindful of ourselves, we also are then, whether we are choosing to or not, because this is my favorite thing about people, about leaders, about people who interact with other people intentionally, that we sometimes ignore the fact that we're blocking so many things here that creates a barrier. So what we see is not what we see. Mm-hmm. What we see is what we're seeing through a lens of, it's almost like wearing sunglasses. And because you have on sunglasses, you can't really tell the color of what's going on. You can't tell the vibrance or the lack thereof. You have on sunglasses, sometimes you can't tell the difference between gray skies and sunny skies. Sometimes you just can't tell because you are not mindful of here, because you've chosen to block all of this. Now you can't see what you really need to see so that you can do what you need to do.
Right.
And so being mindful and practicing mindfulness, just back to, it starts with us. If we can do that and be more aware, now, this doesn't mean that we're healed, because healing is progressive. It doesn't mean that we are all good all the time. We may be all good in certain places, spaces, and moments. We're not all good all the time, but I am aware of where I am. And because I'm aware of me, because I am mindful, I have done my grounding exercise for the moment. I have tracked. I know what's going on here. But because I take those moments for me, then I can properly see you. If I can't do anything else, I can see you. I can see that I may or may not be the person for you in this moment. And I am aware of myself enough, I'm mindful of myself enough to know that my Ph.D. is in leadership and education administration, and somebody else is sitting over there with that psychology degree, and they're going to talk to you in a way that may be more effective for you. Or maybe the counseling training that I do have is enough, but I am mindful of that so that I can nourish you with the thing that you really need to ingest to get to your next place of healing. And put you further on your journey to peace.
Right. And that awareness also told me that in that moment, that student needed Mama Dawn and not Dr. Tafari.
Yeah.
She needed to talk to Mama Dawn first.
Right.
And then Mama Dawn could pass the baton to Dr. Tafari. That's what it's about also, is understanding the aspects of yourself and which aspect needs to be present in this moment, because it ain't always the same chick who you're going to get. It depends on the space and place and the time, right? It depends on the situation. It's contextual, right? Who you get is going to be situational and contextual. Whether you get Dawn, Mama Dawn, Minnie, Dr. Tafari, Ma, or Baby is dependent upon who you are, how you exist in the space, and where we are, time and space, all of that stuff. And sometimes, like I said, she really, yeah. So sometimes you need that, and she comes with different stuff, but she's still me, right? Still me.
Right. You're still authentically who you are, because you are so full, and in your wholeness, there are multifacets to you. You're not faking the funk with one person. No, I'm giving the me, the part of me that you need right now.
Right. I'm giving you the part of me that you need right now. And the part of me that wants to be in space with you right now.
Right.
Because maybe Dr. Tafari don't want to deal with that. Dr. Tafari just want to give you this fall schedule because she got work to do. But Mama Dawn is in the background like, excuse me, let me talk to that baby. Hold on. You deal with your schedule later. Let me talk to this baby. Yes, now, baby, what's going on with you? That's Mama Dawn push Dr. Tafari out the way.
Also, because, and it goes to the last piece, is because you are constantly building. And because you build, you have students who one recognize the fact that they were wrong because they did not get a time when they were supposed to get a time. Two, also recognize that I know Dr. Tafari, who they may not even know your persona as Mama Dawn, but they know Dr. Tafari is one who I can come to her now. I can make this statement because she trusted you by making that statement. And one, she can read me. And she's going to say, come to the appointment, and we're going to talk about what I said, and we're going to get my schedule straight, and life is going to be good.
And life is going to be good. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. But we gotta treat people like whole human beings.
Right.
We gotta. Humanity is real. Humanity is real, and we gotta acknowledge all of it. We gotta acknowledge all of it and everything that we do. And if we're not doing that, then what are we doing? Right. What are we doing? That's the love, eat, build. It covers all aspects of the humanity, and that's that peace. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well,
we're going to leave that there. Yes, we are. I could talk to Dr. Dawn from now until next year, and we will talk about 97,252 different things, and we're going to have a lot of sister girl moments. But for the sake of this program today, I think that is a wonderful point for us to land on. So, Dr. Dawn, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For showing up fully all the time, as well as in this moment. Everyone out there, I hope that you have enjoyed this as much as I have. And if you haven't, that is your fault. Doggone it. But know that next week, Leadership Live will be right back. I hope that you will join us. I love you. Bye.